Hello, this is Arnell Tanyag with Tanyag Company. We are a business advising consulting firm that specializes in helping passionate business owners double their income and grow their business while creating an ideal lifestyle. We are having our monthly topic for this month, not only for the Realtor Forum, but the Business Forum. The topic for January 2017 is now you can have a great start to 2017 and make more money than ever. What I'm going to do is cover the 7 tips that you can apply into your business in January 2017 to not only have a great start, but make money in the year. So number 1, it's interesting. Everyone who goes from 2016 to 2017 is all excited about, resolutions and business planning goals. But what I find out with most people is when they start 2017, they got to let go of 2016. So what does that mean, letting go? They got to let go of all the bad stuff. All the stuff that failed, all the stuff that didn't work, all the stuff with the challenges, all the stuff that just basically sucked and that really destroyed their confidence. So what I suggest you do is take a piece of paper and write down all the things that went wrong, that didn't go well in 2016 in your business. So write down the top 3. Write it down. And then what you do is when you write it down on paper, you take that paper, you crumple it up in your hand, and you just throw it in the trash can. Because you need to leave it there. You need to throw that head trash away. Because the biggest challenge in going in 2017, you can be excited and have a plan, but you can't let the past, and the past meaning 2016, hold you back. So you got to start with 2017 with a new belief that this is going to be the best year ever. It starts with what you believe, not only your mindset. A new mindset, I'm going to grow versus fix. Growth mindset and fixed mindset is unique because you grow when you fail, not when you succeed. When you fail multiple times and learn how to handle failure and give your permission to fail and learn how to have quiet resolve or resiliency or what they call grit, passion, and persistence over a long period of time. And growth mindset has a unique type of mindset, and fixed mindset means that you're anticipating challenges. You're looking at what you're learning as a skill. So you have to have a new mindset, but more growth versus fixed. A new attitude. And the attitude you have to have, as I tell people, is you have to have an attitude of fearless, shameless, and urgent. Urgent, I got to make money. Shameless, I'm going to do things I ain't done. Fearless, I'm going to have the courage to do things I normally don't do. And the last thing, you got to learn new skills in 2017. Because a lot of times where people struggle is learning new skills, building a process, and then again, new attitude, new mindset, new belief. And if you start that off with yourself and your business, it's going to be a great year. Number 2, work on your business plan, or I call strategic plan for 2017, diligently and courageously. Meaning that most people don't have a plan, or it's in their head, or it's on paper. But what I usually have my clients do is we focus a lot on how to generate new business. Because they say if you can market, and I'm talking about market to generate new business, and I think that's what I call influencing new business, then everything else follows. Because you could have the best product and service, but if you can't bring in new business, it doesn't really matter. So, I've had very good success with several of my clients over the last year in 2016 because we map out specifically what they have to do to generate new business. Because if you don't know what specifically you're doing to generate new business, then what happens is you're literally going to either by luck get there or normally fail. So like I had a realtor who's been working with me a year, and we literally make sure we review all his activities to generate new business today, what's possible in the future, what challenges prevent him from doing new business, what he has to do to improve his operations, but it's primarily business development, what he does in new business. And you work that plan, because if you don't have a plan, then you're just shooting in the dark. You're going where the wind's going. You don't know how to say yes or no. So in the meantime, if you don't have a plan, just write down specifically what you're going to do to generate new business and develop a list and work that. And when my clients actually write that stuff out and they know what to do, they have great success. They actually can double in 90 days and sustain it. Number 3, look at your trends in your profession and the target markets you're focusing on, especially regarding marketing and operations delivery for 2017. Let me give you an example. Like one of my niches is residential real estate. You know the interest rates are going to go up. They're predicting 5%. You know, interest rate of 5%. I was like, whoo, that's high. And then that basically means there's a lack of inventory for buyers. That basically means sellers are unwilling to budge. So a lot of people are not going to sell their home to get this big payout and have to buy a house at a higher interest rate. But really, what you have to do, and I'm telling my clients, what you have to do is prepare to handle those objections. Prepare to have those conversations with people. Prepare to be good at having scripts. Prepare to communicate well based on the personality. Because if you don't know what's going on in the trends, then you're going to be caught on behind. Like first-time home buyers are going to be increased. The biggest population now is millennials are coming into the market. And then the other one is baby boomers who are coming into the market. Are explaining. Like, let me example. I went to a client party. It was a real estate brokerage firm. And I was invited because one of the stakeholders. And I was in there and I was talking to one of the realtors at the table. And I was telling her, one of the trends next year is baby boomers. 50 people who are, 45 to 60 who are thinking to sell their home, either downsize and upgrading. And it was funny. There was a bunch of past clients of this real estate firm, and one lady goes, "Oh yeah, I'm thinking either to downsize or upgrade." And I know my neighbor's doing the same thing too. And I looked at the realtor and said, "See?" She goes, "Oh my God, I got to be at this workshop. You got it coming on next month. Next month. This was December. I got to be at that workshop." Because you got to look at your trends. I mean, you can look at the trends at Realtor.com. You can look at the trends at In the News. You can look at Active Rain. Look at the trends. I mean, you just type in real estate trends, and or trends that are talking about the market. And you really want to look at that around trends because here's the hardest thing. Each industry has specific trends, and so you have to be aware of the trends so you can make adjustments. So since it's going to be very low inventory with sellers, then that basically means that you got to be really good negotiation. If you're a buyer's agent, you got to be really good up front with your clients, letting them know that there's a less of demand, there's a lack of supply, and we're gonna have to fight for the deals. So you have to go in there with an understanding how you adjust yourself and your business and prove your skills. Another thing, I work with small business marketing. It was interesting. A lot of the marketing now is it's somewhat changing. Here's some interesting things. Is most people are on mobile phones. So, but do as real estate do you market on mobile phones? My opinion, only if you can do it consistently. And they got what they call hyper-local marketing, that people are now looking at local SEO, how people are doing business locally. The influence marketing is like getting somebody who's got a very good network to promote you. There's something called permission marketing, getting permission before you market to them. Video streaming is doing really good. Let me give you an example. Now, people know on Facebook, I had a house fire. And the only reason I did a Facebook Live, I was on a webinar, listening to this webinar, because I studied residential real estate, and it talks about there was somebody at Boomtown, and there was somebody at Facebook, and they were talking about Facebook Live and all these things. So I just said, well, shoot, I ain't got nothing to lose. I mean, let me do a Facebook Live video. I did a 4-minute video talking about a house fire, the aftermath. I mean, I think I had like a couple thousand reviews, over 200 or 300 comments. I mean, that Facebook Live, let me tell you how powerful it was. I had, my wife had her aunt from California called her. I had people out of the blue reaching out to me because of Facebook Live. So I recommend my clients that when they're doing listings, they should do a Facebook Live. If they are really a person who likes the camera, they should be doing Facebook Live about their day. Because then email marketing is still the highest percentage of return for residential real estate. Like I have a service called Happy Grasshopper, who I put people on emails, and it just sends them great relational emails. And I just watch when people click on it, and I just call them up and talk to them. There's also about, they're talking about the trend is build your personal brand, build who you are. And then they're also talking about, you got to be ready to do business with millenniums. I mean, so, I have a lot of my clients reading and talking about millenniums. And it's interesting too, because there are people who are really experts at it and there's people who claim to be it. But here's how you determine is find the experts who can tell you how to convert the relationships or how to basically gain loyalty from them. And then, baby boomers selling their house, and that strength-based training is on the rise. I mean, there's so many different trends, and I always tell people look at, their industry trends, look at marketing trends. But the key is you need to be doing that research so you can adjust your business. So I adjust my business solely every year based on trends. And the other one that's really cool is video is becoming really prominent. So people ask me, how do I do video? I said, here's my opinion. If you ain't gonna do it consistently, don't do it. If you ain't gonna do it consistently, don't do it. Because if you don't do it consistently, it's haphazard. But when you do it, it really works really well. Number 4, know what's happening in the local economy and make appropriate adjustments every year. Last year I did the same talk, and it's funny, after I talked about, the biggest thing you need to be worried about is snow. Every year in Hampton Roads, it snows. And when Hampton Roads snows, what typically happens? We shut down. Now, if it snows during a weekday, business people really shut down, and you know what they do? They take a vacation. They take a rain, like I call it a call day, or they take a day off, and they really don't do anything. So when it snows, what you got to really look at is that's the time you can reach out to people. You can call people, touch base with them. Hey, how you doing? Work on your business. But no one really has a contingency plan. If it snows on the weekend, like there's supposed to be snow on this weekend, people are already prepared for this, worse, this, that. It's all supposed to snow. If it snows during the weekdays, people just take time off. So you have to really know the economy, what's going on. Also, we have a new president coming on board, and there's going to people be aware of their opinions, comments, and sometimes there'll be little or no action because they're waiting on. So you need to be prepared to handle that, because people are going to be concerned or not moving. So you say, hey, look, doesn't matter who doesn't matter who the president. We got to make a living. Let's go and do our part. You have to have a reason, but you have to really look at the economy. I go to a presentation every year on the Hampton Roads Commercial Real Estate Association. They have a gentleman, Mark Vittner from Wells Fargo, comes down. He talks about the local economy. He talks about commercial development and residential development. And I go to those things because I want to see how it affects Hampton Roads, how we're going to be affected. Is there any trends that we need to be aware of so that we can catch those trends? And be aware of it so we're not behind, we're ahead, and we're using the trends in our favor for growing our business. Number 5, know that you will experience challenges this year and sometimes failures, but you got to be careful, but you have to be able to handle them. The biggest challenge with most people today in business is a challenge becomes a failure if they don't get help. And failures are good because you learn not to do it. The problem is failures become bad if you let yourself get lost into the failure, meaning that you have this self-fulfilling prophecy that you're not going to do really well, and it just spirals down. You lose confidence. You're not sure of your skill set and all that. It's happened to me. So when you look at failures are broken down into 3 areas: tactics, strategy, and vision. Like, let me give you an example. I had a client who literally said, I want to grow my business, or I just don't know how. And I said, do you have a strategy or specific tactics? She goes, no. My vision is, how do you want to grow it? She goes, no. Do you want to grow it by referrals? Do you want to grow it by relationships? Do you want to grow it by SEO? Do you want to grow it from advertising? Like an agent, you want to really know about lead flow. Lead flow is divided into 3 things. Either I buy leads or I self-generate leads. Let me give you an example. If you self-generate leads, you're going out there and asking your sphere of influence, your friends and family, for referrals. Are you buying leads? Are you buying Zillow? Are you doing Tiger leads? Are you paying money to generate leads from your website? That's where most people don't really know how they choose. And then, for example, if they say, I want to do word of mouth or referrals, do you actually have specific tactics to generate it? If you get business from Facebook, are you studying specific tactics on what to do? And most people That's their challenges is. And the other thing, how to handle challenges, there's a video I have in my notes. It's called "You Got to Have Grit." It's the power of passion, perseverance. The most successful people over time, not only do they fail, but they're able to stay in long enough so that when the work they put in, the timing comes to fruition. And then the other thing about failure, they say, you got to look at self-confidence as a skill. You got to have self-confidence. You're going to fail, but you have to build confidence. One of the things that my clients do is we always look back every quarter, what challenges that you accomplish that surprise you, that inspired you, that really build your confidence. What are some failures you're not going to repeat? Because here's the thing, there's two types of business owners that come to me. One who are already failing and struggling, and ones who don't want to fail and struggle, but they know the importance of investing in business to get ahead. When somebody is really failing, struggling, it's a head trash. They just lost the rhythm and flow. So a lot of times what you have to do is get them moving, get them moving in the right direction. So you got to be able to know that you're going to have challenges. You're going to have, sometimes those challenges become failures. But what do you do when you get out of that? And a lot of times what I tell people is get around good, positive people who could snap you out of that, who can encourage you. Don't get around, negative, whiny, empathetic people that go, oh, woe is me, I agree with you. Get around people saying, well, okay, I understand how you feel. What are you going to do about it? What kind of help do I need to help you? Because here the thing is we're always going to have challenges and failures. It's how we have ourselves work through it, either through a support, a mentor, or a coach, or advisor. How do you work through that failure and you build upon it? Because the most successful businesses are built on people changing the business model and failing in finding the right model and the sticking in it so that there's enough the timing. And I realize that most businesses fail because they don't have the right business model and they stay long enough so the timing takes an effect. So just get ready. You're going to experience challenges and you're going to be failures. It's how quickly you get back up, how quickly you get rhythm and flow. And the key is it's all around patterns. I tell people, when you know what successful habits or patterns you consistently do, what can derail you, what you can lose. Like there's a form that I have people call the 16 reasons why people fail. And when I have people come on board, I have them filled out and it gives me the top 3 and it narrows down to the number 1, and we work on that. And then I have them do that form every 6 months or once or twice a year. It just depends on, it gives me a objective assessment of what they're failing at, and we can make the adjustments. Number 6, based on the information today, at the end of the day, you make the rules that determine how you generate business, operate business. So what you have to do, I tell all my clients, is have a filter. What are you willing to do and what you're not willing to do? Like, for example, my business, I want to generate a network up to 150 people that I'm going to refer and introduce me. My goal and objective is to give over 300 referrals this year, up to 300 or more referrals a year, and receive up to 150 or more. And my goal and objective is to teach people how to refer or favorably introduce me, because I want people loyal to me, not loyal to me because I'm really good at my company's really good at what they do, not because they like me as a friend. And so to order to do that, I'm qualifying people, see if it's the right fit for my business. Also have developed a process to get referrals. I have give an example. I have a person, I do a 30-minute conference call that we talk about helping each other. I have people that meet once every quarter. I have people who meet once every 6 to 8 weeks. I have people that I'm helping out, and they're helping me out. So the idea, and it's really working really well, because that's one of the things I'm doing. And then the other thing I'm doing is Facebook Live. I'm doing a Facebook Live every week for about 2 or 3 minutes, giving them an update and that. I'm doing that. I'm going to start writing posts on LinkedIn twice a month, one for real estate agents, one for the real estate industry, and talk about that, and then looking at other ways to generate leads, because at the end of the day, I know what the trends are going on, but the bottom line is I'm going to use those trends, like, I'm using Facebook Live to increase my visibility. I mean, I when we had that house fire, Wavy TV3 contacted us. We got connected to a reporter. She did a story on us. That's really been helpful. I mean, I looked at it was like 8,000 views. I mean, it's just it's picking up this and that. So, I know what you have to have. And the reason about knowing rules that work for you, you have to have a filter. Most people don't have a filter saying yes or no. I just know, based on my core values, I want all my business from relationships. Now, it doesn't mean I won't experiment on advertising don't experiment in lead generation. But I also have certain specific strategies, and I also know what I'm going to say yes to and no to. Like, for example, I don't go to any networking events unless it's target market or I'm working with clients or people in my network, because I want to work in a team. I want to work with people who we can work together. Because I'm a small business, I don't have the money to sponsor $20,000-$30,000 a year, but I can work with a group of people. We can collaborate and work together. So you just have to know the rules. And then number 7, despite the trends in the industry and local economic changes for 2017, you really need to create an accountability and support structure to keep you focused despite the changes that may occur. Let me give you an example. I had a client who's in the residential real estate industry, and she, I don't know if she's here. She's an appraiser. She's someone I've known for years. I've helped her grow her business. And this is probably back in 2008. We're sitting in a little mastermind group, me, another realtor, and her, and the realtor said, why don't you do a pre-listing appraisal? What was that? I said, well, people want to know, agents want to know, and home buyers want to know before they list their house. They just want to see what it's worth, but they don't want to pay the $350. Could you give them a reduced rate just to give them an idea? Could they sell the house? Well, this wasn't heard back in 2008. Well, literally, what happened is we were in this mastermind group. We know there was a need. We asked the realtor, and the realtor said, let's try it out. Well, that one idea helped her generate her private business. She was able to generate almost 60% of her new business from that. So now she doesn't rely on appraisal management companies. She actually has the private sector give her business. But this is back in 2008. We did research online. We didn't find anything. But if it wasn't for that brainstorming session, that mastermind group where I was facilitating, her and another realtor, we came up with it. Because sometimes the best ideas come from people who are not in your business, not in your specific profession, but they're in your industry, and they're the ones that they use your service. They can tell you what the needs are, and you can make adjustments. So at the end of the day, the trends in the industry and the local economy, it does matter. It matters to know what it is and how to take in effect and apply to your business. But at the end of the day, if you're an accountability structure or support structure, talk about those challenges, you can work through it, because sometimes the best answers are people who are not emotionally tied to your business, but can give you some feedback. So again, these are the 7 things that you have to do. There's 7 tips that you can start 2017 and make more money than ever. Again, get rid of 2016, focus on new belief, new mindset, new attitude, new skills. Look at your business plan and really work the business development activities that generate new business. I mean, if you just focus on that, all the other challenges can be worked through, because if you can't bring in new business, it doesn't matter if you have an operation challenge. If you can't bring in new business to pay for any changes in that. Number 3, look at your industry trends in your own industry. Look at the trends in your the target market and see how you make adjustments, especially around marketing, especially around your industry, like mine's business advisor consulting, and the target market. I focus on real estate agents and small business owners. Number 4, know what's the local trends in the economy, what's the developments, what's really going on. Know, like for example, the roads and all that stuff. Know what's going on locally. Number 5, know you're going to experience challenges, and sometimes those challenges become fair. Know how to handle that. The quicker you can really know, it's just part of the process, and you can handle it. It gets better. And again, 6, you make it the rules. I mean, you want to make rules that work for you, not rules that somebody else tells you. So you got to be able to have a filter. You have to determine what works for you, what doesn't work, and it's okay. And number 7, despite the industry trends, get into some type of accountability or support structure that keeps you focused, because it's lonely out there, really lonely. And if you're around other like-minded people that want to grow their business, that are somewhat peer-related, and you have a professional facilitator working that and helping you grow, I mean, your business will grow. I mean, I'll leave you this, is that I've been doing this talk. This is the second time I do this talk. I do similar talks throughout the year. This one I do, and I just adjust it to some of the new things coming out. But most of the time, if you're able to apply any of these, then you'll have a great 2017. Again, my name is Arnell Tanyag with Tanyag Company. We're a business advising consulting firm. If you need any help, any concern or challenge, or have any questions, don't mind, just email me at arnelltanyag@tanyag.net. Call me at 757-752-8169. We're here to help. Again, thanks for listening to this video, and I hope it's helpful. If you're interested in getting the notes, if you find this on YouTube, just just put a comment. I'd love to have the notes. I'll send it to you. Again, thanks again.